I was gonna say, as I look through the pictures of Luis Royo, the Spanish artist, the one who draws these dark, gloomy, fantastical paintings of, well, mostly absolute sexy women. Uh, no, but I have many in my head, so I like keep thinking and keep being drawn towards it. And yeah, I can't wait to write that letter to this certain dominant. I've not a name for it, for lack of a better name, for the mistress I found online. I wonder, usually I'm like too, how you say, I always expect a lot from people. I still haven't overcome this because usually I think because I'm such a fool up here and in here, so I keep having this again and again and again. I just wanted to make this video. I just see what comes out, because for me, as an embodied essence within a human being, I mean, why should every single master, wise one, and enlightened mystic and mystica throughout the ages, when we don't know about too many women, but there were two, I'm sure, probably more suppressed than enlightened men. All we ever did to enlightened men, mostly throughout the West, was putting them on the cross or putting them on fire or whatever cruelties we could come up with. I say we, I'm not one of these we. I never was, I never will be. Maybe I was in past lives and I have to pay off karmic debt or whatever, but in this lifetime I am so adjusted to the divine within, divine around all of us. That alas, I was not a good devotee. I heard just recently a very interesting sentence by Sadhguru. He said, obviously it's long ago because he looked different. It's incredible looking at his videos. Sadhguru, throughout the years, he like changed. It's like you see different states of Kundalini rising. So he had different states of attainment to the absolute supreme. And every time I believe there is a changed. Obviously age too, but generally you realize immediately on a mystic who has attained to supreme samadhi, they become this ageless expression in their face. Then there are maybe people that have been there and somehow held on to something so that they can't come back, like as a bodhisattva, I think is the meaning. There is someone who has attained but who had such a strong desire to help mankind to reach the next level, who seeing the suffering, on all levels, not just on the material one, but also on the psychological, emotional, collective levels, all this suffering and karma, where it leads to, it can possibly only lead to more suffering if mankind keeps on this path. Now I'm talking too much, I'm just saying here. But Sadhguru said that being a devotee, being in the state of devotion towards godliness, godliness is something Osho came up with. So I find like you can take all the mystics throughout time, particularly the mystics of the last decades and last century, and every single one added a very important idea towards. You saw every single mystic has attained to the whole, to godliness complete. His ego disappeared entirely. You guys have no idea what it means. I can only talk out of the little experience I had, mostly because of psychedelica. If you take psychedelics with a certain wish in mind, the wish towards inner wisdom, towards devotion, towards I want to see what there is towards God, love and compassion towards Him. With this intent, and you are on a trip, trust me, assuredly, if it really comes from your heart, you will get to taste it, and you will know it exists, and it will change you to a degree forever. Then there's no way back. There's no way back into lostness, into hate and greed and whatnot, all the lower level, low frequency states of mind. You know, that's how they call it, the spiritual masters. I don't know about frequencies again. I said so before in one of my videos. Not many made it onto my YouTube channel. I realized I have like maybe 0 followers so far. It's my fault, like I really have no hand in promoting that, and I was pretty doing nothing over the past 10 years, but it was not a complete state of slumber, it was more a passive state of witnessing still. I wasn't even practicing yoga, but still, awareness was already switched on, so I could watch the world around me very closely. And I've seen all the mistakes you guys make. There are manifold, some of them are just deeply troubling in their intensity, in their intense stupidity. It's deeply troubling this way. Now we're still highly comfortable on this planet, but some of those things that I see in people, particularly individual, that have a collective layer to them, yeah? They're not in one individual, but in many. Now you are not individuals, that's the next thing. You are personas yet, all right? But back to the mystics, yeah. I don't like to go too far afield. There are many ideas in my mind that have gathered over the years. I could load you up with them, and then you forget what I have said 3 teams back just 2 minutes ago. Yet I can remember and speak on. So I don't know, you have to have a sharp mind. The right or left, with left or right hemisphere, yeah, they have to work together. You have to bring them, you have to activate both of them. Female and male forces have to work in tandem. It's like a jump in tandem, you know. It's like you don't always go active, like, oh, I'm always a man. I don't always go woman, I'm always a woman. No, you swap, you change. Understand? Every man has to be passive at times and go into it fully. Explore your femininity. I have to realize a new word for that. For man to be woman. And for woman, I don't know, I let a woman do it. For a woman to be a man. Yeah? Simple. One learns new ways of being. And that's the way how you become a mystic, how you climb the ladder. Maybe a mystic will disappear in the future and we will all rise. That would be the ideal, yeah. Then we are all mystics. Normal human beings, the way we were supposed to be, on a higher level of existence. And not down there, somewhere crawling on the fucking floor. That's what I see most people doing. Again, second time, back to the mystics. I'm sorry, the great ones that came before me and reached heights of beingness I cannot even dream of yet. But again, I was saying every single one came up with a different idea. Take Osho, I was talking about the last. He took God away. And if you take God away, the person of God, he said, then there's godliness. Absolutely beautiful. Why worship a person in the heavens that does not exist? But godliness you're continuously surrounded by. It lives deep within you. Then you had, I don't know, Gurdjieff. I know these stories because I was listening to and reading Osho's books, so because he took many mystics and talked about them, but I'm sure he was pretty right about most of them. So Gurdjieff, I don't know, there is a certain, obviously first name, it's a surname, I even don't know if I butchered the name, but you can Google it if you roughly put in Gurdjieff or Osho talking about Gurdjieff, Gurdjieff. You can roughly get there. It's a famous mystic of the early 20th century. Like he, for example, he only taught to a small group of people. Apparently, he was really attained to the supreme, and he only took those that were absolutely sure that would do anything in their possibility and go even beyond that to reach and attain to the absolute. So it's a great idea. Osho was more for everyone. He was talking to everyone. It was his experiment, apparently. Now we have Sadhguru, and Sadhguru. Now I've really forgotten it because I got lost in talking 11 minutes. I really have to make it short. I realized that maybe it's not just videos for myself, and whoever stumbles upon them, yeah, these are my first crazy clips, whatever. So Sadhguru. I really have forgotten. I will have to think about it in a minute for me to remember. Devotion I was talking about. Devotion. So Sadhguru said that being in a state of devotion is the most intelligent way of being. Now, for me, I cannot disagree, but I'm not very old. God knows I haven't meditated a lot. I haven't sit down in sasen or in sadhana, because meditation is something else again, for very long. And so, for me, it's more of it, because Sadhguru is also very, I find him to be very Indian. Yeah? He is a very traditional Indian guy at heart. Even so, he's way beyond it. Yeah? He knows it's just his outer appearance, just how they make the Buddha status in statues. How you call them? The figures of Buddha. Yeah, they are all looking very much the same, but yet there's always a little thing different. Like no picture or statue or figure of Buddha is the same like the other. Maybe one has an earring, the other has not, has maybe a nose ring or whatever, or there's something about the dress beneath the head, or something around the hair are different. The faces are pretty much the same in everyone, the eyes are the same, but yet there are little details about every one of those Buddhas that are different. And I think this is the character, the last bit of character they take with them before they completely disappear and are not reborn again because they've attained to the absolute highest. And yeah, I think I already talked enough with 14 minutes. I just put it on YouTube like as it is. I will write down, yeah, Jai Star talking about mystical things, even only from a philosophical point of view. Alas, a lot more work would be necessary to truly do it. I wonder if it's even possible on cam. Only in a way of work, say maybe through like ritual and prayer and song, say mantra, and maybe some instruments with more people present and someone is filming it. So how is the one who is filming it going to participate? Maybe you like share the camera, obviously that would be a way to
So there are many ideas like that running through my head. I started actually talking about a domino these days. Yeah, maybe as I'm going to put this video up right next to the video that I am specially sending only to her. So maybe she sees this one and knows a little more about me. I'm actually really looking forward to having talked about all that holistic and spiritual stuff. People please don't understand me. For me, as there is a heaven, there will be a hell, and I'm certainly interested in both of it. Why should